Happy holidays, Oviedo. It's our final broadcast of the decade, and we're on location in the Winter Wonderland experience right here in Central Florida.
Coming up on today's show, Brooke Brennan delves into the magic that is the Enchant Christmas Light Maze in St. Petersburg. Finally, Julia Hoffman tells us about a member of the Lion family who earned a prestigious recognition. Stay tuned, you're watching WROR-TV. Good morning, Oviedo. Today is Monday, December 16th, 2019. I'm Margaret Femininio.
And I'm Tyler Crush. The end of the semester is here. Exams may be upon us, but so are all the festivities that come with the holiday season.
And we're on site in St. Petersburg, Florida at one such event taking place. Enchant Christmas offers all the sights and sounds you can imagine for the holiday season.
While it may take a couple of hours to drive down Interstate 4 to get here, only 3 cities around the nation get to experience this each year. We'll have more on what Enchant Christmas is after the pledge and the response to last week's question on Twitter.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey Oviedo, it's Olivia. Earlier this week, we asked you about your plans for the holidays. Here are a few of your responses. Robert says he goes to his grandma's and a candlelight service at his church Christmas Eve and family visits for Christmas Day and the day after. Adrian says his plans for winter break is to finish some games on his backlog, notably Persona 5 and Rhythm Heaven Fever. Also a lot of Ultimate Smash. Finally, Carly says during break she plans on taking it easy while just spending time with her friends and family and watching tons of Christmas movies. Thanks for your responses. Tune in after the break for another question. For now, let's get back to the show.
For the first time, the southeastern part of the United States is hosting what has been billed as the world's largest light maze.
And with 80-foot tall trees, larger-than-life ornaments, and millions of lights, this is a unique experience available in only a few cities around the country each year, and it's only happening for a limited amount of time.
Brooke Brennan has a rundown of the magic of this event.
For the first year ever, St. Petersburg Tropicana Field welcomed a new Christmas tradition.
In each city we have a very special story that goes along with our light maze. The light maze is the main attraction in all 3 cities, and each city has a specific story based within the maze. So our maze is called The Great Search. Eddie the elf, who's a very mischievous elf who lives in Christmas Town and has a pet reindeer named Sparky, one night went to the stable to play with Sparky and forgot to close the stable doors. That night there was a great snowstorm and all of the reindeer flew out of the stable into the forest at Christmas Town, which is this light maze. And so all the guests come into the light maze and they look for all 9 reindeer so that we can get on with Christmas and Santa can deliver his toys on time. So that's the story here in St. Pete. And then there are other stories in the other cities. I think it's really important that St. Pete is one of those cities that has been growing for years and years. I've been raised here most of my life, and downtown St. Pete has become a place where young families and working adults and older folks all converge to have a great time. So our music is something that I'm really proud of. We have a great mixture of either folk or top 40 or cover bands. We also have great jazz music. And we also have some of my favorite restaurants from St. Pete are here located in the food hall. So it's not just your regular stadium food. When you come to Enchant Christmas, you're actually getting a local food experience. When you come to Enchant Christmas, you're not just coming to the maze itself. You're going to get everything you love about St. Pete here in Tropicana Field.
And with this new Christmas tradition in St. Petersburg comes a lot of work and voltage to make it all happen.
It depends on the show, to be honest with you. We have, if you count all the fence panels and all the ancillary lights that go around it, we are 2 million. The actual show proper is about 1 million. Our feature trees are anywhere between 150 and 250,000 lights in it. And we have trees that range in size of 80 feet to 100 feet. So it's a lot of light. In part, we work with storage and facilities, logistics, travel, transportation. It takes an awful lot of coordination to make sure that this stuff gets to where it's supposed to go from year over year. We're about 30 trucks per show. We have 3 cities right now, and we're going to double that by 2020. Each and every piece of this has come from one of 10 different people who work within Enchant. So it's not an off-the-rack experience. It's definitely something that comes from the heart, and specifically is an Enchant experience.
The magic behind Enchant is one that will make memories that last forever. For WROR-TV, I'm Brooke Brennan reporting.
This time of year is a great opportunity to slow down and reflect on the blessings in our lives, especially with the semester coming to a close and a 2-week break on the horizon.
Absolutely, but when it comes to athletics, there's not much of a slowdown yet. Some teams are still in full swing. Riley Finnegan has more in our O-Town Sports Report.
Good morning, Oviedo. I'm Riley Finnegan here with your O-Town Sports Update. On Thursday, girls JV soccer defeated Timber Creek 1-0 with a goal by Felicia Wilkes, and varsity tied 0-0 with several saves by goalkeeper Amanda Wagner. Last Tuesday, girls basketball played Winter Park at home. Let's head over to the highlights for that game.
On December 10th, your girls basketball team played Winter Park at home in a conference game. Tip-off was won by Mandy Turner and resulted in an almost immediate score by Maisie King, assisted by Alyssa Doyle. In a penalty shot, Maisie King sunk another one to put Oviedo up 3-0. Winter Park responded with a 3-pointer to tie the game. Alyssa Doyle sunk her own 3 from the sideline. With an assist from Jimena Rosasco, Berger Trevino made a layup to make the score 23-9. Winter Park would make the last layup of the quarter and make the score 30-15. Alyssa Doyle started off the second quarter with a free throw, and a great defensive stop led to a breakaway, allowing Berger Trevino to sink a layup. Alyssa Doyle sunk another 3 from the sideline to add on to the huge lead of 47-15 with 1 minute left. Winter Park started off the third quarter by taking it down and making a layup. Mandy Turner responded with her own layup, and Alyssa Doyle sunk another free throw. Maisie King made a clutch layup with 20 seconds left in the third. In a slow fourth quarter, Maisie King sunk another layup to make the score 58-24. The Lions would defeat Winter Park 62-29. With O-Town Sports, I'm Riley Finnegan.
Finally, before we close out 2019, Oviedo High School learned last month, for the first time in 6 years, one of our teachers has been named the Seminole County High School Teacher of the Year.
Now, Mr. Furiosi is not just a stellar member of our science faculty, but he coaches ultimate frisbee and tennis, and advises our science fair participants in their research. Julia Hoffman does some of her own research on the county's top high school teacher.
Here's your own, Mr. Will.
William Furiosi has been a teacher at Oviedo High School for more than 6 years. This year, he was voted by his peers as Teacher of the Year for Oviedo High and has gone on to be named the County-wide High School Teacher of the Year. It's the first time in 6 years a teacher from Oviedo has received the honor.
Obviously, it's Teacher of the Year, so it's how effective and engaging the instruction is in my classroom and how I really connect with the students. I mean, the content doesn't change every year, but the students do, and that's what really excites me and gets me excited to come to school in the morning.
I think he's really inspirational. I've definitely seen in my personal life and in my peers that he's really affected them academic-wise and made a really close personal connection with a lot of the students.
Honestly, Mr. Furiosi that's actually the main reason I took experimental science. I'm extremely grateful to have a teacher that's as experienced in the field and competition that I'm planning on going into, and because he just knows things that a lot of other teachers don't. It's really helpful to have somebody who knows what good research looks like and the real process of getting to completing good research.
I went to the school board meeting to recruit a science teacher, and I interviewed Will along with many other high schools who wanted him. And the one thing he said that really struck me is instead of going to med school, he had a passion to be an educator. So right then and there, I wanted to hire Will to come to Oviedo High School.
William Furiosi has found success in his teaching methods and uses them to help others around him.
You know, Will's first year as an AP biology teacher, he had a 100% pass rate. And then since then, with experimental science, he's kind of rebirthed that whole program. So we now have several sections of that. And that's important because it's kids competing for science fair. So what makes Will really special as a teacher, I feel, is he can work with all types of students, whether they're struggling students or high achieving students. It doesn't matter to Mr. Furiosi. He can do it all.
With Mr. Furiosi, he teaches you, he gets you really close to doing work that actually matters. He puts you on like the frontier of knowledge.
I tell everybody that I almost feel like I have a little bit of imposter syndrome at times, because I look around. Oviedo High School is a great school because everybody is so good at what they do. And if that's something that they're looking for, really it's just good teaching and putting what's best for the students and really engaging and finding what's meaningful to them and relevant with the content that you're teaching.
William Furiosi will go on to compete for the SCPS Overall Teacher of the Year. For WROR-TV, I'm Julia Hoffman.
We want to wish Mr. Furiosi luck as he awaits to find out the overall countywide Teacher of the Year this February.
And we want to wish you and your loved ones a happy holidays and a restful winter break. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WROR-TV. I'm Tyler Crush.
And I'm Margaret Femininio. We'll see you all back on campus in 2020.